writing about the My Sky jetpack, we thought, well, these are people who don't want to spend $5 million, and they're like, $5 million is really expensive, so we countered that with, oh, but look how cool and amazing and fast it is. And so as you're thinking up your own arguments, make sure to imagine the questions and problems that people will pose to you. So if they're reading this about flavored water and they're asking, well, do we really need flavored water and how much will this cost, and all these other questions, think of your own arguments back to them. All right, anyone else want to tell me what is your project and how are you supporting it?
Project is you get an app on your phone and it tells you if there's a fire in the house, it tells you where to escape successfully. And I'm persuading people to buy it because
No, don't. Okay, so did you hear the
Yes,
the
I
app?
did.
Okay.
So,
Another good one for you.
I'm
You
sorry?
can use that one too.
Yeah,
But that would be good for your phone.
If there's a fire in the house and tells you where to escape, that is definitely something that it's difficult to argue why you would need that. That is definitely a very necessary thing. Now, what would you say if somebody's like, well, does it cost too much or something like that? How do you argue against it?
because I would say why pay money to save lives, and because it could, because that's what I.
Alright, so you would say it's worth paying money to save lives. Great, and that's very hard to argue with. Whenever you pull an argument like that has anything that is really, you can't argue with that morally, like you can't say, oh, I wouldn't pay money to save people's lives. Nobody's going to say that. So you can definitely use an argument like that. Now, does anyone else, let's hear about one more project and how you're supporting it with your persuasive arguments.
Very sadly.
I'm doing a swim shirt and I'm putting material in it that changes color under ultraviolet rays.
Okay, so you're making a swim shirt and it changes colors as what happens?
It's shining when it does, it changes color under the ultraviolet rays from the sun.
Oh, nice. So your swimsuit changes color under UV rays. And now what would you say is the purpose of it?
The ultraviolet rays like a regular swim shirt, but when it changes color, you'll also need to put on sunscreen.
Great. So it has two purposes. Not only does it look really cool, but also when it changes color, you'll know to put on sunscreen. Wonderful. Okay, so now what would be an argument someone might have against that? Does it cost a lot, or what do you think someone might say if they were against your product?
Grace.
So you have the swimsuit. What is something that someone might say badly about it? Like, oh, well, kids are just going to buy it for the cool colors. They won't actually pay attention to whether they need to put on sunscreen. Like if somebody had an argument like that, how would you counter it? How would you come up with an argument of your own?
Well, it's important to put on sunscreen because if you get sunburned,
So maybe you would really educate about the dangers of sunburn as well with the swimsuit. Okay, that sounds good. So when you're making your persuasive argument, remember that your product, of course, you'll think that it's the greatest thing ever, but from another student's standpoint, they might not know a lot about it. They might be evaluating you against other people and really having a lot of these questions, a lot of these arguments come up as they're reading your arguments. So making yourself a really soundproof argument is, or not soundproof, sorry, question-proof argument is a good thing to do. So remember to really know your audience, tackle your different points thinking about the audience. So we included the things that we knew would appeal to the readers of Cool Transportation and tried to make the benefits outweigh the cons of paying $5 million. And with your own project, you want to do the same. You know that there are probably things that your project might, where people might say, well, is that really as necessary? Is this really as important? And people are going to ask those questions, so being able to answer them, being able to come up with an argument back at them is super important. All right, well, you guys have done an absolutely wonderful job with persuasive writing. I really enjoyed hearing about your projects. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Okay, yes.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 10th grade, sophomore. I skipped a couple of grades though, so that's why I'm 14.
Yes.
What school do you go to?
Well, I actually go to 2 schools. I take my online classes at Washington Virtual Academy, which is an online public school, and I take 2 of my classes as well at Redmond High School.
What do you like to do on your free time, not including writing books?
What do I do in my free time, not including writing books? No, writing books is all I do. No, I'm joking. That's something actually that people think a lot about writers is that all you do is you are cooped up inside an office and you're writing. But I love to do so much more. I go outside when it's not rainy because, near Seattle it's super rainy a lot. Well, hiking, camping, not camping, hiking in. Hiking and biking out in the great outdoors. I love doing that. Cooking is pretty fun, drawing, painting. Art is a huge interest, and reading, of course.
Do you play any sports?
I don't really, I'm unfortunately not the most athletic person you'll meet. That is one stereotype. Another stereotype about writers that might be true is that you spend a lot of time not playing sports. Yeah, I've never really been on like a ball team or of any kind actually. Most of the sports that I'm able to do are really individual ones like riding a bike. And even that, I sort of fail at that sometimes. That's okay.
Lisa?
Where do I get the inspirations for writing books? Well, lots of different places. A lot of times from the people I know. So when I was writing this Diary of a Preteen short story in my book Flying Fingers, I based this older sister character a little bit off of my older sister. But she's still really mad at me about that because the older sister character is the villain in the book. So I don't think she's quite forgiven me. But definitely pulling inspirations from real life. Sorry.
Renew?
What is it? You put on the how good?
He's asking, do you draw?
Yeah, I do draw, although I wish I were a lot better and I want to continue improving my art skills so that I can maybe illustrate my own books. Well, thank you so very much for doing this persuasive writing. Remember that persuasive writing isn't as hard as it's cracked up to be. You make persuasive arguments every day to your sisters and brothers, to your parents, to your teachers. So just take the skills that you already have and put them down on paper.
Stacy.
Thanks.
Well, Dora, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful week. That was a wonderful presentation. I appreciate it. Please look for my email, and I will be in touch. And hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season and a new year.
Thank you very much. See you too.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.